Hey folks, it's Andrew Brown and welcome to another video. And we are going to tackle the AWS CLI now. So we did the Terraform CLI, we'll do the AWS CLI, and I guess we'll go get our AWS credentials as well. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm just going to shrink down a little bit here and I'm gonna go ahead and create ourselves a new branch as we've been working through here by creating an issue. And we're going to go here and just say refactor AWS CLI script. So we are going to, and we might as well, do some of this. So refactor AWS CLI in bash script, into bash script. And the other thing we're going to do here is we are going to set our envars, or provide envar examples for AWS CLI requirements. And the last one is set our envars for AWS using GP-env. Okay, and this is all kind of feature development, or I don't know, this would be under busy work enhancement. Not the best labels, but just fun to label stuff anyway. We'll go ahead and create this new branch. And so if you check these off, it'll show 3 tasks of completed. I don't know why we didn't do this before, but we're doing it now. I just remembered it. And we'll scroll on down here and we'll go ahead and create our new branch. And it's 7. Why is it skipping numbers? I would really like to know why. Why is GitHub skipping numbers for issues? It's so bizarre. Maybe the reason why is that there are issues and then there are pull requests. So every time I make a pull request, it is counting it as something else, right? That's what I think it probably is. So I'm just curious, if we go to pull requests, what numbers are those? Do these have numbers? They do. Okay, so that's why. All right, whatever. I don't remember them having numbers, but maybe that always happen. But when you get into a larger project, the numbers start to count up really quickly, so you don't notice this, and that's why I'm getting confused. Let's go over to our code over here. I'm going to go ahead and launch Git pod in our new branch, branch 7. We'll go ahead and launch that. I'm going to go ahead and hit continue. Okay, so we'll just wait here a little bit. And so that is now launching. And you know what we're going to do. We're going to go into our bin directory here. Going to expand this up here. I'm going to make a new directory here. We're going to call this install AWS CLI. And we are going to take some liberties here by copying and pasting our existing code. Okay, we'll copy this. We'll go over to this one here. I thought we split it. Apparently we didn't. Split, please. Thank you. Okay, so we have that one. And so we want to go over to, where is it? Our Git pod YAML here. And so we have this, and generally this should work. I don't know why it was prompting us the other time there. If we go down here, is it doing that? So it didn't. It looks like it was installed. So if I just type in clear here, AWS, window too small. It is working. It's just, it's opening up in, if I just zoom out here for a second, the window's not too small. It's full of baloney. If we do this, what the heck? There we go. Yeah, it's opening up. It's opening up there. Okay. So, again, I like you to know where everything is. And so I always want to show you the steps, even if we have it here. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just cut this out here. Whoops. We will cut this out here. We'll go over here. We'll go below. We'll paste. And we're going to make one change. This is going to be the project root. Okay, and I just want to confirm where this comes from. So AWS CLI install. And it doesn't really change that much, so I think it should be the same. We'll go back over to our documentation, and we'll keep updating stuff. I think we're 3 levels in here, so we'll go here and do 3 levels. So AWS CLI installation. So AWS CLI is installed for this project, you need to set specific envars. But I guess the thing is like, so via the bash script, bin install AWS CLI. Okay, and then we will just, like before, reference where that is. Bin install AWS CLI. Okay, we'll go ahead and paste that down below here, the link. So getting started, install, this is just AWS CLI for that reference there. And we just want to confirm that this is correct, just making sure nothing's changed. Cloud is moving all the time. Every time I'm making videos, I'm surprised something has changed. So there's always something new, and you got to keep yourself on top of it, okay? So down below here, we have our Linux instructions. And if this is your first attempt updating it, then remove it. We're not doing that. So we have ARM and we have x86. We're on x86. We know that because we checked our version earlier. And so here we have curl and these 3 lines. And so these 3 lines are identical to the way that we're doing it. So there's nothing for us to change. It is 1-to-1. So this is good. And you definitely do not want to use the homebrew version of this. I learned this the hard way because it'll throw a lot of errors when other things rely on, like SAM CLI and other AWS tools. So just always install that way. But anyway, so that is the script. And I mean, it's already installed, so I'm not really worried about it. But what we'll do is go to git pod YAML here. And we're going to grab this line, and then we're just going to swap that out for install AWS CLI. Notice that we have this on partial command. That is what causes that prompt to come up. So see when we type this, that causes this to pop up, and it makes things easier. Sometimes we want it, sometimes we don't. For the most part, when we're doing this bootcamp, I think we want it. So I'm going to leave that in there. To get out of that, I think it's just Control-C here, Control-C. But if we try to use the AWS command, so the one that is used for like a hello world or sanity check is the AWS SDS call here. So if we type in AWS, whoops, clear, AWS. I'm just going to bring in the prompt mode because I always forget how to spell it. Get, caller, identity. I know what it is. I just can't spell the word identity. It's a hard word for me. And if I hit enter, it should throw an error because we haven't set any environment variables. Now you can do AWS configure. If you're on a local machine, that is the preferred way to do it. When you're in a cloud developer environment, you do not want to use the AWS configuration file, the credentials file. You want to set the envars, okay? But that's where we kind of have to deviate with cloud developer environments. But just notice that it didn't return anything back, so we know that we're not logged in. And so that is a very important command. You should memorize this command because it's one of the most important commands with the AWS CLI. So we'll go down here and we'll paste this in. We'll just say, we can check if our AWS credentials is configured correctly by running the following command, AWS CLI command. Okay, and so we need to set some envars. So to do that, we're going to have to go get those. So AWS CLI envars, which are over here. And I'm going to just copy this link here. AWS CLI envars as another reference. And so we need to set the following. We'll go over here, paste this down below. Okay, and I just want to point out a couple things about these. These are fake. See, it says example in it. This is a fake one. This is a fake one because it says example key in it. I can switch to CA Central 1 because I'm in Canada, CA Central 1. The most common one is US East 1, but I'm going to set as CA Central 1 because I know that's where I'm from and I like that. I don't know if I spelled central right. I don't trust it. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, great. So, just understand that. And you would never, ever, 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 listen to me, ever want to take your real credentials and put it in this file and commit it to the repo. Okay, your secrets are supposed to be secret. If you do that, GitHub and AWS will both detect it, and they'll both say, "Hey," they might not, but as of late, when this happened for boot campers in the last boot camp, AWS locked their account, their permissions, and then you had to do a bunch of stuff to undo it. Which, thank goodness, AWS does that. But before, what would happen is that some hacker, some bad actor would scan all GitHub repos and look for these leaks, and then get into your account and run you up a bill. So be very careful with your credentials and make sure you do not put them in files. Okay, these are example ones. You're not going to use these ones; they won't work. And I'm just going to put the single quotations around it just so that we know those need to be set. So hopefully I've scared you with that one. Okay. All right, so we need to get these set, and what I'll need to do is I'll need to go log into my AWS account. So give me a moment. I'm going to go log in, okay? All right, so I'm logged into an AWS account. I'm actually in the AWS Bootcamp account because I cannot be bothered to make a new account. But I want to tell you, when you create a new account in AWS that's not within an organization, it will reset the free tier. So if you're trying to not have any spend whatsoever, do that. And I believe you can use the same card. Why AWS lets you do that, I don't know. Why don't they just give you free tier forever? I don't know. But that's the loophole around it. Okay. And so what we want to do is we want to make our way over to IAM. That's for the Identity Access Management. So we're typing IAM here at the top. We're going to go to IAM here as the first choice. And it'll have some recommendations here. So make sure you have MFA. I don't know why I don't have it on the root. I think I had an issue. I had to take it off, but you should have multi-factor authentication for your root account and the account that you're using. I'm going to go on the left-hand side. I'm going to create myself a new credentials here. It says, well, I got some things to update here, but we'll go ahead and we'll create a new user. So this is going to be Terraform Beginner Bootcamp. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and hit next. You can name it whatever you want. I'm just going to do it this way. And if you don't have a group, you can create a new group, and you just call it admin here, right? And then you go give it admin access, and that will give you access to everything. Now, we don't need access to everything in this bootcamp. We should lock down this to exactly the stuff that we need. We will do that later. I'm not going to do that now. We're just going to do admin, and we're going to be super dangerous, and then we're going to, at some point, adjust that. Maybe Ashish will help us with credentials or permissions there, but that's what I'm just going to do here. We already have a group called user and admin, so that's not hard. You can create that, but once you have it, you're going to select admin here. Okay, my head's in the way, but there's an orange button. That's how we go next. And then we're going to review and create this new user. And the reason I'm not using like the same user every single time is because if you make isolate users, you can lock down those permissions. And I know I'm really small, and make things a lot more safe. So I'm clicking to the Terraform Beginner Bootcamp. We're going to go over to the Security Credentials tab. I'm going to create new access keys. If you have not yet done so, add the assigned MFA right here. And we're going to go ahead and create our access keys. I'm going to go to command line at the top here. Don't worry about all this stuff. We don't care about it. It's just warnings. And we're going to go all the way to the bottom, and we're going to say, I understand. I'm not going to leak my credentials. I'm going to be careful with these. I'm not going to put a description on that. I'm going to hit next. So we have our access key and secret. I'm going to rotate mine out, so I'm not really worried about it. And you're going to see mine here. Please don't try using my keys or secrets, but don't share these with anybody, okay? These are your own. You should never share them, or you're going to have serious problems, okay? So what I'm going to do is go back over to our environment here, and I want to set these. So we got to be really careful that we don't commit this into the file. Okay, so I'm going to grab the access key first, and I'm going to paste it in here. Then I'm going to go back over to the secret access key, and then I'm going to paste it in like that. Okay, so I have my two keys, and then I have these three values. So if I want to test it right now, I'm going to do the export like this. Okay, and then I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to just clear this out, and I'm going to paste all these lines. So I just pasted them all. I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to confirm that they're there. I'm going to type in env. We learned that in the last video, grep AWS underscore, and we can see the three values. We have the secret access key, the access key, the secret key, and the default region. Now, I really want to point out, make sure you put single quotations around this, because sometimes what happens is the bash script will read it, and it will think that it ends right here on the / or something weird, and it won't read the whole thing. So single quotations will make sure it captures all of that. I want to also set these in Gitpod. So I'll do gp env, and we will do the same thing. So we're going to go ahead, right-click, copy. We'll go up here. I'm going to type in clear, and I'm going to paste them in. We're going to hit enter. Okay, and so now those are been set there. So what we want to do to make sure that these work, I'm going to delete these out. I really don't want to forget to do that. I'm going to save this file. Make sure you saved it, okay? And we're going to type in clear, and we're going to try this again. So we're going to type in AWS STS get caller identity, hit enter. And so now it will return an identity, right? So I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to bring this on over here. If it is successful, you should see a JSON payload return that looks like this. Okay, and it is JSON, so I'm just going to say JSON here, or JSON. Sounds like I'm saying someone's name, I say Jason. And I'm just going to fudge this a bit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 0, 1, 2. There's exactly 12 numbers in the account ID. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 0, 1, 2. And I'm just going to fudge a few of these. R 5 1 E, because you folks don't need my real one. It won't hurt anything, but I'm just going to do that. And I know that this is me because if the account ID matches my account, so if we go over here in the top here, and this account ID here matches with that, it did before because I changed it. And we see Terraform Beginner Bootcamp, then we know what user we are. You should just run this command in general so that you know you are who you think you are when you're logged in. When you have multiple AWS accounts, it's very easy to forget which credentials you're using. So for me, it becomes habit to just double check at the start of working with a project, because you could end up deploying things into accounts you don't want to, like maybe your company's production account. So just be careful with that, okay? But yeah, so that is set, and that caller ID works, so that is good. And so, I mean, we're in pretty good shape. We need to make sure that this works. So we're going to shut this down and launch it back up and see if we can get that stuff there. We could also run that command and just make sure we are who we are. So that we never do that, but I'm going to actually do it because I think it's a good idea. I don't know if it'll work inside the script, so let's see if we can do that. So I'm just going to copy this here. Again, I have no idea if this will work or if it'll even print it out, but I'm very curious to see. So we'll go ahead and grab that. And what I'm going to do here is go ahead and commit this. And, well, you know what? We can just test it in place to see if it works, right? So I'll type in clear, and we'll test our script locally first. So we'll do bin install AWS CLI. And we did not make it executable, so that is a problem. So we'll chmod that. And we'll say bin install AWS CLI. And then we'll do ls-la for the bin directory here, making sure that they are both executable. That is good. And now we will actually run it and see what happens. Bin install AWS CLI. We'll run it. And look, it's prompting it. You know why? It's because it already exists. Because if you're running it twice, so if we open an old environment, it's going to think that it's already there and it's going to complain about it. So maybe what we can do is after we've downloaded, we can probably just delete it. So we could just say like remove before we do anything else. Just say remove AWS CLI v2. I don't know what happened if we try to remove a file that's not there, like testing. Okay, so we'll just ask ChatGPT to speed this up here. So we'll say remove a file from bash only if it doesn't exist. Only if it does exist in a bash script. Okay. Okay. Yeah, and so that's what we'll have to do. I'm going to bring that over here. This way we can run it multiple times. So we'll just go ahead and paste this here. We don't need the echo if it does not exist. It's just only if it does. So I'm going to go here. This is file to remove. Don't know if I need to put the full path there. I'm just going to try this. I'll see if this works. AWS CLI. Just grab this here like this. Copy. And we will paste that here like that. And we'll paste that here like that. We could also probably put the name. So if we want, we could just say $ file name. And then we could just copy that. And we'll paste that in like that. File name. File name. I'm hoping that it can figure out that it's relative and see if that works. It might need the absolute path. We'll find out here in a moment, okay? And we'll go back and we'll hit up until we get to it. We'll hit enter. And it still is trying to do that. So it probably did not find the file. So if it does exist, remove it. Okay. And well, I mean, we know that it's going to be in that directory always. So I'm just going to put that in like that. Workspace. This will just do like this. Workspace. / workspace. Okay, let's see if that takes it. What the heck? It's not listening to me. Clear. cd ... It's there. Okay, that's totally fine that it's there. Also, there's an AWS directory there, and that's totally fine as well. Yeah, it's really not listening to me today, is it? Okay, so I mean, this should work. Unless I spelt it wrong. AWS CLI v2.zip. Okay, I just want to... Give me 2 seconds, okay? All right, so, I don't really like ChatGPT's solution because we can probably just pass it to devnull. Because the thing is that when we use the remove command, if it exists, it's going to throw an error. And one way of doing that is by doing devnull. I wasn't sure if there's another flag, but I wonder if -f can be used. Note that the second command will fail, return a non-zero status if the file does not exist, but the first will succeed owing to the F, short for force. Okay, so ChatGPT, I don't like your solution. We're going to go over and change it, okay? So, and actually this one's a lot nicer, so we'll go here, and I'm going to do this and just say force. Like that, and then we can, I didn't want to get rid of the file name. We'll go here, and we'll say workspace file name, remove. And yeah, we don't need to have a variable here. I'm just going to copy this, simplify this. We'll paste that in like that. And we'll just do -- force, remove -- force. We can do a single one. I'm just trying to make it nice and easy to read for you folks here. And while we're here, because we want to remove a directory, remove, usually it's, we'll do force. It's going to be RF if it's for AWS workspace, AWS. And so that should kind of work around that problem. There we go. Yeah, so it's going to remove those 2 files and directories before it ever runs. And if they're not there, then it doesn't matter. So there's our improved script. It does run, great. We're going to go ahead and add all of these changes. We'll give this a refresh, make sure that works. And we're going to make sure we use the number. We are on, what's our branch here? It should say 7. So we'll do #7 refactor AWS CLI into a bash script. Some notes that we should probably write down. We'll need to generate AWS CLI credentials from IAM user in order to use the AWS CLI. Okay, we know that in this video. Those who are watching, if there's something that you're doing this for the first time, if you've never made an IAM user before, which it was a prereq in this bootcamp to have AWS knowledge, if you don't, go make those notes so that you remember, right? And I'd like to see you write them in here, okay? I'm writing the bare minimum I want to see that you write, but if you can do better, please do better and put things in. If you run into any issues, write that down, because if you're asking for help, it's really good to pinpoint where that problem was, and writing that would be really great, okay? So we're going to go ahead and we'll commit this, and we're going to sync those changes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to now stop the workspace. I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to give a refresh. We should really check before we stop the workspace that it's there, but it looks like those changes are in there. And I'm going to go all the way to the top here, and we're going to go ahead and open this again, because I just want to make sure that it is working. Okay. So we'll give it a moment here. There we go. It is starting up. Okay, and look, it printed it out, so that's perfect. So now when we go here, we can even see if we're actually logged in. So that is good. That is in good shape. So yeah, this is all good. We're all done here. So we'll hit stop workspace. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate these out. So I'll go over to my user and we'll go to beginner here. I'm just going to shrink on down. We'll go to security credentials, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to deactivate these. Okay, and then I'm going to delete these. Now, you don't need to do this as much as I do. I just need to do it because some boot campers and people think that they're practicing security and like to practice against me. Please don't. But it's okay because I rotate them out anyway. But just in case I don't, I don't need additional stress here. Okay. Anyway, so that is now all cleaned up. Forgot to tag, so that is one more thing we need to do. We'll go over to, we need to make the PR as well, right? So we'll go to pull requests. We'll make a new pull request. We're going to go drop down to 7, and then we are going to double check. We are making sure that we did not commit any nvars in our code. So we'll be very careful. Those are the example ones. We know they're examples. Those are fine. That is fine. That is fine. We're double checking, making sure there are no junk files here. So there are no junk files. Good. We're going to go ahead and create that pull request. And, well, before we do, let's go back to that issue, because you know what we could have been doing this entire time? This, and this. Fun, eh? Okay, we'll go back over here. And, we can just copy this. But it might seem like a lot of repeat, but when you work in a team, you'll find that you write something different in a ticket from what you write in the pull request, from what you write in your documentation. It's very interesting. We'll go ahead and create that pull request. We're going to go down here. We're going to squash and merge, even though there's only one commit. We'll go ahead and do that. And that is now committed. I'm going to go back over to code. I'm going to go here into code. I'm going to open up Git pod again. We're going to check our commit history or tag history. We're at 030. This one's going to be 040. And so we'll go ahead and continue. If you have something and you're making mistakes, then you might need to do those patch commits. But generally, when we have code that isn't in production yet, you generally aren't doing many bug patches. But anyway, we'll wait for that to spin up. There we go. And so all I want to do is do some tagging. So we're going to go here. I don't know if we can create tags this way. That'd be interesting. Can we create tags this way? I don't think we can. I don't know why they don't let you. That'd be, maybe they do and I just don't know. If we go to this one. Well, if there is, I definitely don't know how to do that. We'll go back over here and we'll do this. We'll bump it up and I'll go over and we'll type in git tag. What did we say it would be? GitHub is slow today. Go back over here, 040. So 040 git push tags. We'll go back over here, refresh. Now notice I didn't do a git fetch. It's because I knew I was opening this up and it was open to the latest. So you got to be very aware of what state your branches are in. If you're not sure, you can always just go git fetch here, git pull, git fetch, git pull. If you're not sure, you can always check the git graph over here, which is doesn't always like to show up. I don't know why. But yeah, when that button is there, you can check it. But what we'll do is we'll go back over, we'll just close this out, hit stop workspace. And there we go. At some point, we should get in a table of contents because this is starting to get very long. But it is nice having our documentation. So I will see you. We'll just make sure this is here. Yep, I will see you in the next one. Okay, ciao.